Oh, something different.
Did you know that God is a master strategist? Let's take a quick look again at some facts from Joseph's life. Now, Joseph had a dream that his mother and father and brothers were bowing down to him. Now, that was so very unlikely to happen. He was the 11th of 12 children. So he was far removed from the birthright. He therefore would never be the child whom the leadership of the family would pass down to when the father died. There were 10 brothers before him. But when God gives you a word, He's going to keep it, however impossible it seems. So, for it to happen, Joseph had to leave Canaan. It would never happen in Canaan. But then Joseph would not leave Canaan of his own volition, because he was in a good place. He was daddy's favorite boy. So the Lord used the evil heart of his brethren to get him out of the place that he was comfortable in to the place where his dream could be fulfilled. Now, daddy sent Joseph to go and look for his brothers. He walked 50 miles to Shechem. And when he got to Shechem, they were not there. The strategist at work again. Because they were supposed to be at Shechem with the sheep. But they moved from there to Dothan. And when Joseph got to Shechem and he couldn't find them, someone told him to go to Dothan. He walked another 12 miles, so a total of 62 miles to find his brethren in Dothan. But it was God's strategy again, because Joseph needed to end up in Egypt. That's where his dream would be fulfilled. But how would he get to Egypt? He had to be taken to Egypt. Now, the slave route and the caravan route to Egypt did not pass by Shechem. It passed by Dothan. So, it was important that the brethren, his brothers, moved from Shechem to Dothan. It was important that Joseph did not catch them at Shechem, but at Dothan, because he needed to get to Egypt, though he didn't know that. But the master strategist was at work. All things being pulled together and working together for Joseph's good. His brothers hated him and were determined that his dream would not be fulfilled. His dream was the first thing that ticked them off, because how dare he believe that he could end up in a position where we have to bow down to him. We're going to ensure that that dream never happens. So when they saw him come into Dothan, they spoke of him in derision. And they said, "Hey, here comes the dreamer." It was not in a positive way. It was sarcastic. But their very efforts to block the dream were the very tools used to bring the dream to pass. if they hadn't hated him and sold him, he would never have ended up in Egypt. But that's where his dream would be fulfilled. When he got to Egypt, again, who bought him? Potiphar. Potiphar, who was the head of the king's guards. He was the manager of the king's prison. Why? Because he needed to be aligned. He needed to be in that place where the king could get to hear about him. Strategy. He was lied upon and ended up in prison, because that's the only way he would get to meet the butler who would have the king's ear. At the end of it all, everything that the enemy was doing, meaning bad, God was strategically pulling it together, working it together to get purpose fulfilled in Joseph. The same thing happens in our life. Take comfort in the fact that all the efforts that your detractors and enemies will put in to destroy you and block your promise and block the fulfillment of prophecies in your life, the master strategist is at work, and he will use their evil intentions to forward your purpose. God's will be done in your life. It shall be done. It's still going to happen. Trust the master strategist. He is working on your behalf. Let's talk about it. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. God bless you.
Oh.